When I'm in the mood for a sandwich, I want a sandwich. So if I want a sandwich, then I'm gonna get a sandwich. I feel her on that. Let's do a mic check. What's good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. This is going to be a weird live. Really just wanted to promote that tomorrow I've got special guests coming in. I want to do a better job promoting. I was on with my dude, Che, from the No Spoon podcast, and he did such a good job promoting. You know, he put effort into the promotion of our live, and I'm like, I gotta take that cue and do the same thing. Tomorrow, Peter and Jen from Generational Change will be on the channel. This is going to be 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 4:30 Mountain, 3:30 Pacific. Let's go. Let's get it. This is going to be populist left. This is, I'm not looking to do any type of echo chamber here. That is a dangerous thing, and I am concerned about that. That's what happens. It's nothing specific to this channel. I think this channel is probably one of the more diverse channels you'll find, but online is designed for echo chambers. So that's what happens. That's the way it works. That's what the algorithm is there to do. The algorithm is not there to break you out of the echo chamber. The algorithm is there to keep you on the platform. So if sometimes you go into a different realm politically, socially, that might help you in the algorithm to stay out of the echo chamber, but it's not designed to break down walls. So what's good? Just coming by. I really only have the topic of promoting the show tomorrow, and then a couple comments on the WaWa. Really, one big takeaway from the WaWa situation. Never heard of WaWa. I never heard of a WaWa in my life before this. If you don't know, that a bunch of looked like typically young adults, teenagers potentially, younger adults, ransacked a convenience store in Philadelphia. Appreciate anybody stopping by. It won't be too long. Never. Is this live? Yes, it is live. What do you want me to do to prove to you that it is live? Timcast, they do their other channel. What's the other channel called again? Why am I not remembering? But they're doing skits on the other channel, and they always make fun of Timcast. Like people say, this show's not really live. So they did this funny skit. I'll actually look it up. I forgot the name. What is it? Castle. Wow, how could I not? It's just weird times right now. That's why I'm not. My memory's shot between work and other stuff. But if you haven't seen, this is the offspring of Timcast, and the reason I'm bringing it up is Christina Villano. Thank you for stopping by. It is live, and a lot of people ask Tim Pool and their team, is the show really live? And Tim's like, let's make fun of it. The show's not live. It's fake, y'all.
Miracle.
Yeah.
Have you seen a small brown package like that big?
I thought you already got it.
No, I have no idea where it is. If you see it, let me know. Okay, but we don't have a lot of time. You're gonna have to hurry. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll get it out.
So if you're just listening, it's Tim Pool's brother, which, man, when they got back, they had some beef or whatever, but to see family get back together, man, that was something else, man. We had some good chats in the Timcast. I'm a big fan, obviously, if you don't know already, but to see him and his brother, I don't know what the situation is, but obviously they're working together, man. It's beautiful. But his brother's waiting for a package.
Special delivery from Mar-a-Lago. Got him out just in time.
Awesome.
We good?
Jack Posevec rolls up on a bike with a carrier behind him with a script of like 1,000 pages for the Timcast. He's like, y'all think this is fake? Y'all don't think this is live? Okay, well, here's the script.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, I gotta get out of here.
Scripts are here. Oh, awesome. Thanks. Cool. Jack just dropped him off. Excellent. Excellent. Can we get Jack on the show, or is he's leaving? No, he left. All right. All right, guys. This is episode 579. Let's do this quick because the show's in a couple hours.
I like the dry humor of it. So I don't know. You'll have to trust me, Christina Villano, that this is live. What's good, everybody? Hey, everybody. I'm also going to be tomorrow. I'm going to try to jump in the Pegasus live. He's going to be talking about his new album release. So there's a lot going on. B. Deering, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. This one's going to be short. I'm not going to make this too long. I'm going to talk about generational change. Yep. So generational change in WaWa. Be real quick. That's it. Lady Hawk, what's up? It happened in filthy Philadelphia. Makes sense now. See, I'm hoping that these are all things that we can learn from, and that's what troubles me is that these things happen and I don't forget about politics. I'm not talking about any politicians or any elected officials. Things like this happened in the community. It's just my impression. I'm not in Philadelphia, but I don't see it. Maybe you can help me out if you know of it, but I don't see a strong push to say, oh, there's a problem, let's do this, or let's talk about it at least. Yeah. So that's my thing about it. I'm not against anybody. I know I'll make fun of this stuff and talk about it, but I'm not against anybody. I just want to point out stuff that needs to be pointed out. That's beyond politics. What you saw in WaWa is beyond. You'll see Doug Mastriano and other people kind of talking and using it for leverage. I have no problem with that. But that is well beyond politics. The Beanie Bro. You call him the Beanie Bro, the little Beanie Bro. But yeah, they kind of hash things out, it looked like, and he's been on there for a while doing. He's the one that set up the chicken coop thing where if you donate money that they drop the treats. It's really good. Okay, so let me click my fingers. Snap. I've just seen this late now. So now people are going to be like, it's definitely not live. I'm going back in the comments, but I'll snap my fingers. But here's who's coming on tomorrow. If you could stop by, this one will be short, but tomorrow will be a good discussion. I'm thinking an hour. I have to double check to see how much they have. I think beyond the hour. Hour is a good time for me right now, unless I don't want to stop a good conversation. But generational change is the channel here with Jen Perlman, Peter, friends of shows. They've been on. I've been on their show a couple times. They've been on here. Well, I don't know. Actually, they haven't been on this channel before. I've been on theirs a couple times. But you'll see that this is going to be a little bit different. And they talk about labor, which I really like. That's a blind spot for me. I like talking to people who can fill in blind spots. It's a blind spot for Maga, too. Talking about the comment, I don't see enough of it from a labor standpoint. Not a pro-union necessarily, but a pro-labor standpoint. But look, this here, they had somebody on, they were talking about Giorgiano Melani and what happened in Italy. And I'm still looking at, I'm not a Italy, expert in Italy or their politics. I haven't really followed Italy since the pandemic. They were one of the first places to lock down. That's when I first started looking at Italy. Steve Bannon on the War Room has talked about Giorgia Melani a lot. And that's all I know until recently. So now I'm doing research looking at it. There's pros, there's cons. But that's what they're going to talk about here to give you a taste of why I want to have a conversation. Not a debate or anything like that, just a conversation.
I mean, it's kind of, it's worldwide.
Well,
Worldwide fact.
She's talking about the rise of populism, and this is populism from the right.
we're going to talk. We will talk about this topic with our guest who's coming on. Like I said, I had the pleasure of meeting Craig McInnes at his art studio in West Palm Beach over the weekend, and needless to say, his work is beyond exceptional and maybe biased here, but it has a very intense sort of political lean to it in terms of his work. Amazing art canvases that I had the chance to see. A little above my pay grade in terms of what I could buy from him, but nevertheless, really good stuff.
It's important though to have lower cost items at your show. That's what I'm working on right now for my show.
Well, he's got t-shirts, he's got posters, he's got stuff.
You have to have something that the poor people can buy so they can have art too.
Yes. So I think Craig is just currently working on his tech stuff at the moment. So we want to make sure that that's sharp. So there's no issue there. But yeah, I had the opportunity to look at his stuff, and it was very eye-opening to say the least. I posted a video on my social media pages. Had a quick 2-minute walkthrough of his studio, and really sharp stuff. Honestly, I can't see. I think this one is frozen, and I can't tell what's going on with that one. So. Says that his Wi-Fi is not the best. I told him.
So they're talking about his artwork here. Let me back it up a little bit or move it up. So they're talking about the part that I want to talk about is why I'm going to bring up Maga communism with them. And really all that is I know it's kind of a shocking type of statement to hear Maga communism. All it really is to find out how we can work together. And let me back it up again.
I'm not. I'm extremely secular. I'm simply saying Happy New Year to all that celebrate. I'm Jen.
I'm Peter. And
this is Monday Night Generational Change, the Rosh Hashanah edition.
Yes, it certainly is quite the new year, and it's a new year.
Did you put out that article?
I have not put it out yet.
The whole point of it was to put it out on Rosh Hashanah. That was the Rosh Hashanah post.
Well, doesn't it last like 2 days or something?
It is. Well, technically, yeah, it's tomorrow too, but today is New Year.
Well, I know that Stu wasn't there, so I was thinking, yeah, there must be something.
But yeah.
So
that was the point of the article.
We are going to discuss what I think is a very important topic. I know I didn't get a chance to talk about it with Jen at length because this is all brand new. It actually happened at like midnight last night, so this is really new. But the wonderful news is that Italy has elected its first female prime minister.
Yeah,
isn't that important?
I'm not concerned with her gender identity or genitalia.
Okay. Well, I know that that's usually something that liberals like to brag about, but in this case, unfortunately, she is the first what is considered fascist-like leader since Mussolini. This is a joke.
Well, she obviously she's a combination of nationalism and I think it's definitely a problem. I mean, it's kind of it's worldwide.
Well, we're going to talk. We will talk about this topic with our guest who's coming on. Like I said, I had the pleasure of meeting Craig McInnes at his art studio in West Palm Beach over the weekend. And needless to say, very eye-opening to say the least. I posted a video on my social media pages. Had a quick 2-minute walkthrough of his studio, and really sharp stuff. Honestly, I can't see. I think this one is frozen, and I can't tell what's going on with that one. So, says that his Wi-Fi is not the best. I told him, push comes to shove, just do it off of your iPhone or whichever. That's the easiest solution for whatever reason. Your connection is not very strong. But
what's with that, Arif? What happened to Liberia? What's with Argentina tonight? That's interesting. All right, thanks for mixing it up.
Yeah, something new.
I don't know. Just noticed.
So while we're waiting for Craig, I think it's important to just recognize how the signs are everywhere that things are changing in the world.
So this is where they pick it back up here.
Whether the neoliberal establishment wants it to stay a certain way or not.
See, this is where I want to talk with them. So he's saying the signs are there that there's an issue with the neoliberal establishment. We agree. That's where we agree completely. The signs are there that there's a lot of troubling things happening with the neoliberal establishment.
that's the easiest solution for whatever reason, your connection is not very strong. But yeah,
What's with that, Arif? What happened to Liberia?
start revolting. They're going to go towards some form of that's the easiest solution for whatever reason, your connection is not very strong. But yeah,
What's with that, Arif? What happened to Liberia? What's with Argentina tonight? That's interesting. All right, thanks for mixing it up.
yeah, something new.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just noticed.
So while we're waiting for Craig, I think it's important to just recognize how the signs are everywhere that things are changing in the world, whether the neoliberal establishment wants it to stay a certain way or not. When people start revolting, they're going to go towards some form of social democracy, populism. That's going to go left or right. You want to call it social democracy, you want to call it fat.
So he's saying that when the establishment, the cabal, the oligarchy throughout the world, when they go astray, I think life is a balance equation. People who are at a different plane than the oligarchy will revolt, will rebuke. They will go another way. And what he's saying is you'll either go left or you'll go right. And he's absolutely right. But then that also poses a problem because you can't go up against the oligarchy divided between left and right. It's not going to happen. All they have to do is put race or whatever topic into it, whether it's a pandemic, race, whatever it is, and then say, hey, you two fight each other. And no one is addressing the reason why things bifurcated.
Fascism. You can call it whatever you want, but the people are demanding change, and the neoliberal establishment is trying to stand in the way of this. If Italy is basically going to an authoritarian leader akin to Mussolini that hasn't been seen in almost 80 years.
And just to be clear, I do not agree with that. I'm still looking, though. I'm not any expert in her or the political parties in Italy. I have not seen that.
I mean, how much more obvious of a sign are you going to get?
Well, we have it here, but people aren't reading the tea leaves. I mean, we had it here. I mean, I remember in 2015 sort of seeing where this was going. And I remember telling people, your next president is going to be Bernie or Trump. And everybody told me I was crazy. They're like, no.
So these are people that that is the best dividing line, Bernie and Trump. Many of the people from the left that you talk about, that you hear online, so many of them were from the Bernie camp. And the Bernie camp fizzled out. The Democrat establishment put some water on that. They're done. They're gone. They have no representation in D.C. But the Trump camp blew up. It was easier to blow up at the national level from the Republican National Committee. Democrat committee has things in place where if somebody tries to uprise, they can just squash them like an ant. The Republican Party doesn't really have that. Didn't before. No, still don't, to my knowledge. Super delegates is what I'm looking at. So the Trump faction actually rose to power, to some not huge power. There's only a handful in D.C., no senators, but way more advanced, way more power. They got a president than the Bernie camp, and split. So now we don't even have half the power we could. Now everybody's not going to get together, but how much more power would we have together? And that's why I would like to have a discussion. I don't like debate. I want to know where we agree and how do we focus on where we agree and how do we build from there. It's easy. That translates perfectly into the WaWa discussion. It's easy to destroy things. It's easy to talk about, well, you think this person's a fascist, I don't, so then now we just argue about it on the live stream and call each other names and whatever else after that. And we accomplish literally nothing other than helping the cabal. And then some people want to put money in their pockets or whatever. It's easy to break things apart. It's easy to fight. That's the easy thing. If we want to call each other names, we can just do that. It doesn't take any thought. It doesn't take any knowledge. Maybe a sense of humor. That's about it. To kind of make things funny. That's about it. In order to come together, it's like we got to get to know each other. We got to trust each other. We've got to figure out, we don't speak the same language. That's why Peter was there saying, well, fascist, whatever you want to call it, because what does fascist even mean now? I don't even know what people mean by it anymore. I don't know what racist means. I don't know what any of these terms mean. You don't even know what MAGA means. I will give you a different definition of MAGA than somebody else. I can tell you the historical facts behind it, but when I say it, it might not mean the same thing as somebody else who says it. That's why I always explain, for me, MAGA, all it means is populism. I'm not even distinguishing right or left. That's why I'm perfectly fine with MAGA communism. These words don't mean anything. The word vaccine, what it means now, you take a time travel, go back 20 years, they wouldn't know what the hell you're talking about. So it doesn't mean anything. You just have to describe what it is you're talking about. So you say MAGA communism. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what is it? Well, the first question is, what the hell is it? That should be the first question. When anybody says MAGA, communism, populism, what are you talking about? What do you mean? So it's easy to destroy. It's very hard to build. It's very hard to build relationships. So I use somebody online was a biological male and they go by she, her, and I was using she, her. And somebody asked me, well, why are you using she, her? Because I want to have a conversation with them. That's why I'm using she, her. I could not and purposely misgender someone and get banned off Twitter potentially. And more importantly, who cares about that? More importantly, we don't get to build a trust. I will do boundaries of what I'm willing to do, what I'm not willing to do. But I want to have a conversation with you. That's why. So if you don't want to have a conversation with someone, then don't do it. But that's the thought behind it. And what you saw here in WaWa, police seek to identify nearly 100 juveniles who vandalized this Mayfair WaWa, 10,000 in damage about. What you see here are young people who don't know anything other than destruction. I go online and I'm fighting with people. I'm negative. I go to the store and I'm oppressed or whatever. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's always, obviously, the actions were negative. So they're deleting everything from society. And we as society created that situation. Everything funnels into a negative and destruction. I've talked about my kids even when we got toys. I'm like, whoa. We got to take care. We have to preserve these toys. Or you have too many toys. I didn't have 1/100th of the amount of toys they had. So I knew where my toys were and they weren't broken for the most part. Because I wasn't going to get another one. And what's happening here is, well, we're loose on bail. You can do this, you can do that. Oh, something happened with a guy named George Floyd, so you can go do whatever the hell you want because it's in the name of your ideology or whatever you believe. So you can go riot and you can go tear down, you can burn down your own neighborhoods because of what happened. So at some point, you just lose the pretense. I can just burn down the neighborhood. Why? Because I feel like it. That's the same thing as what happened with George Floyd. Doesn't matter what the facts are, what the facts aren't. There's no debate. We don't even know what opinion is anymore. Do you realize that it is not a fact that Chauvin murdered George Floyd? How many people don't even know that? I don't even bring that up with people because they think it's a fact, and I'm like, I can't. You would have to ease into that conversation. It is not a fact. We do not know for a fact that Chauvin killed George Floyd. We do not know that for a fact. And I'm not looking to re-litigate that. What I'm saying is we don't even know fact from fiction anymore. We don't even know. There's some things happened and we don't know what the facts are. Not that it's even opinion or not. And how that manifests itself in society when you don't know what a boy or a girl is, how it manifests itself in society is through destruction. And I'm going to end with this, and I'm going to be out. That if anyone is not willing to tell you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear, you need to go to other sources of information. You can't have, I don't care what it is. I'm talking about Giorgia Meloni. I'm not going to go just to people who agree with me that God, family, country is not fascism. I'm going to go and seek other ideas, other perspectives, other pieces of information. And there's a girl that in that video of the WaWa incident who's at the counter. And while there's a riot going behind her, she's asking the person at the counter to the effect of, where's my sandwich? Are you going to make my sandwich? Are you going to stop recording to make my sandwich? And somebody said, well, why are you making fun of her? I'm not making fun of her, number one. Number two, she was probably one of the most concerned I was there. Because people out there who are riding, they're maybe young, they're doing something, they know it's wrong and stupid and being rebellious. She has a lack of awareness that is troubling. There's a situation of danger going on right behind you. And you're asking about a sandwich. You're not looking to leave. You're not looking to understand that even if everybody that was there, they allegedly came from this roller skate rink, kind of a throwback until that, came from this roller skating rink. You think that they're all cool. I can turn my back. You got your back turned to like chaos behind you. That is, even beyond the sandwich, that's craziness. I'm not having my back turned on the action. People can use that as a cover, just like they did with the George Floyd protests. A lot of people were out there for good. People used it as cover for evil to do damage, the T group and all that, theft, all that kind of stuff under the cover of, you're protesting, I don't give a damn, I'm just going to go do this. So you're not even aware of what's happening, what could happen. That's why I'm asking who raised you. It's not to be disrespectful. I really want to know who raised you. So maybe we could have a conversation on what's happening. Where's the disconnect? And that could happen to my children. They're being raised in this crazy world. If that happens to them, I need to reevaluate. I need to get help. For what? Now, if they're 18 or older, I mean, I can talk to them, but they're on their own. But if they're under 18, I've got to be able to figure out where I went wrong. It might be too far gone to fix, but I can try to set them up for success. That woman asking for the sandwich in the middle of a ransacking she is on the verge of being unfixable. That is broken behavior. Now, if I was working at the WaWa, I would be trying to get out, and I'd be worried about the back door, obviously, because the people who want to do bad might come through the back door, and they might be looking for that register. So my thought would be, if I have gear that I work at WaWa, is to maybe take it off and figure out something else. Maybe go shirtless. I'm taking off any proof that I work at WaWa. But let's forget all that. That woman comes to me asking about making a sandwich. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Is there something wrong in your head right now? You need help. You're worried about a sandwich and there's a riot behind you. There's a woman twerking on a stand. A young lady, I don't know what age group. She has only operated her life, in my opinion, through the lens of an echo chamber. Nobody that would tell her otherwise, anything different. And we can't do that. That's why I'm having Jen and Peter on. Great people. That's not the only reason I'm having them on. They're great people. Love their channel. Check them out. And if you can, come back tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern PM, 5:30 Central, 4:30 Mountain, 3:30 Pacific. I appreciate your input. I'll do a couple comments and I'll be out. B. Deering11 says, we really don't know the facts about Floyd. Absolutely. It's a murky situation. Now, the jury has spoken. That's done. But you cannot say factually how he died. There is just we don't know. And we have to be okay with that. The jury spoke, though. I'm not going against the jury. I did have problems with some of the jury, or at least one of the jury, the conflict of interest. It wasn't a fair jury, in my opinion, but that's a separate. Forget all that. Just for the facts of the case, no. Squirrel 300 says, supposedly it's a pretty good sandwich. I looked it up online. They look like good sandwiches. So don't get me wrong. What's coming late sandwich WaWa. I'm not going to play the video. They automatically demonetize the video of the ransacking, but go to my channel or go just Google anything. Just Google WaWa, and Twitter is one of the best places to search. Bill Gates recently said something to the effect of, we're going to have a got to be careful. I got to strike on another color. Bill Gates said something recently, and if you search Google, they said the results are changing fast, meaning we're changing the results fast, in my opinion. But Twitter is the best place to search. So go to Twitter and search WaWa sandwich, and you'll find the clip that I'm talking about. It's on the channel as well. Greg Wilson, I appreciate it. Agreed with having the conversation. There are blind spots. We have to be able to be humble enough to say, I don't know everything, and I need perspectives from libertarians, people on the left, wherever, non-political people, elderly people with wisdom, young people who have a different perspective. If I could, I would love to interview a young person that went to the WaWa and just help me understand. Just maybe they're like, we're just young people doing something stupid and it's not a big deal, and the world's just crazy and I'm looking at it differently. That is a possibility. So thanks, Greg, always for great comments and stopping by. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. I just wanted to promo that and get the conversation on the WaWa out there. Hopefully see you tomorrow. And if not, there will be a replay. Don't worry about that. Take